Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to give you a short video, just kind of a little snippet of estate planning. I've been going through those and grading those. And I thought I'd just touch on some highlights here. So, my goal this week has been a little off because we did the CFP mock exam review with Zahn on Monday. So if you haven't watched through that yet, I had a lot of good feedback from students who even didn't attend were able to listen in on that because I know a lot of you have goals of taking aspirations of taking that test in the near future. So I do want to kind of highlight that it has been well received. I think I like that whole process that we're able to do because it's just so enlightening to the details of the test and next steps, probably practically speaking, for a lot of you. So my goal today is to just touch on estate planning. I also want to, at some point before the end of the week, as it draws near, to touch on investment planning, and then also give you some details on retirement planning to help you along as you guys work on that project due this next Tuesday. So first, we are going to be amazed by how quickly things come to a conclusion this April. So don't let that catch you off guard. I know that the tendency is to inload a week's worth of work in the last few days of the week due, which for us would be the beginning of the week, like Monday and Tuesday. But if you have the chance to go back through and read my comments, watch some of these videos at which we actually go back through the last class video that I took, we actually discussed quite a bit on the tax planning side, right? And so go back through that video, then compare it to what you've done, right? And try to make the changes that you need. So all that being said, I want to pull up some information here. Um, this would be an example plan that is found under the modules. You'll see that there's three different plans: the Freeman, the Obing plan. I forget the other one. But in those, you can actually look at an example of a well-written, finalized financial plan. All right, so here in the Freeman plan, you can see the estate planning discussion. This student lined up really well, right? A goal, right? Estate planning measures currently in use, a discussion. Under the discussion, they are giving the recommendation, which I like how you can easily tell what is being recommended, right? If you don't give someone this first information and you just start with this, they're going, okay, now I need to disseminate this to actually see the plan of action. The plan of action is will, right? The second one, having a medical directive and so forth and so on. But if you keep going, they also do a good job of helping the client understand what's going in or out of probate as it currently stands, right? Those things that need to be reviewed for beneficiary statement. And in financial planning, a lot of times it's about helping the client understand a course of action, right? Does the client need to act on this? Is this just purely informative? Be clear with that. And finally, you'll see in my comments, a lot of you had made some statements in the plan that we're working on for the Lopez's, right? And in that plan, it was basically you're saying like, this is what things are, and you actually need that. Like my first comment for a lot of you is we need to understand the what and the why because obviously the Lopez family doesn't understand the details of what we're talking about whenever it comes to estate planning. They know nothing, right? They're starting out from square one. Maybe at some point they filled out some beneficiary statements. That might be about it, right? So begin with the basics, help them understand those things. Okay. Then you need to obviously do the basics, right? The big three of estate planning. And then you need to ask the question, and this would be the kind of like the final most advanced option. If you really do want all the points, right? For this section, then you really need to at least encounter the one big challenge in their plan, which is this odd piece that they have a vacation property listed in just one of their children's names in an UTMA. Okay. And maybe they want it. I mean, obviously they had to have set it up for that reason, but maybe they don't necessarily, maybe it won't fit their goals, right? And so you're going to need to probably offer some questions for further discussion to see if that's going to be something that they need. Really, the only way to unwind that would be trust planning for them, but it might be worth it, right? This is a large portion of their net assets, is held in this, over $500,000 vacation property. And if it were to pass to Terry, I think, in just a few years, is that going to be good? Is that what they need? They could establish a trust, and then move that into a trust, and then the parents would have potentially more control over that asset for more years, right? Still give it to the child, or even at that point, give it to both of the children. But it's kind of like an odd thing, right? It's a red flag for me if I'm looking and reviewing an account that has this information. I go, whoa, well, that's unique. Maybe there's a reason for why you set it up like that. We don't know. Let's dig in, right? And try to uncover a little bit about the foundational reason why you set it up that way. That's what estate planning is all about, right? Is making sure that things are in order, and in good order. And so beneficiary statements are just the beginning. But it can be almost as simple as a checklist. I have not seen that from many students so far. But again, like I said, a lot of you have a lot of what you already need, right? So at this point, you're taking our notes, polishing it up, maybe adding a little bit of detail here or there. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's even shortening and consolidating your information to help things fit. So I hope this helps, guys. Again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions through to the end of the week. I know this, if you look at a calendar, it's probably not surprising, but if I say it, probably is, right? We only have a few weeks left in this class. So beginning to prepare these final plans is going to be a big deal. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Bye.